the Lebekin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I wasn't planning on making this video this morning. It's just Adobe Premiere takes so freaking long to boot up. Why does it take so long to boot up? So I've been waiting for a few minutes while I'm getting other things done. It's still booting. It's still like ticking through, doing things. And I got a relatively new computer. My computer's like 2 years old. It's an Apple from 2 years old. Although ever since Steve Jobs died, Apple has not been as good as it used to be. Apple is. I may go back to PC. I don't know. But I'm not good with change. I still use an iPhone because I just don't want to deal with loading after you use an Android. Anyway, I digress. So I'm making this video while Adobe Premiere is booting up. When Premiere is what I make my videos in OBS, and then I edit them together in Adobe Premiere. So that's why I'm using up that dead time, and I'm using it up because I had an interesting thought this morning. Now, it's long been my contention that white supremacy is not the it's not the problem that we're told it is. It's certainly not the problem that Hollywood or liberal media. Well, why did I say liberal media? Media believes it to be, and they're a very insignificant force in America. Not to say there isn't in America, the Western world. Not to say there isn't significant racism, which is what this video is about. But let's talk about white supremacy. I think they're a tiny splinter of a fringe, and not normal. Yeah, that's why back, I don't know, it must be 10, 20 years ago. I don't know how many years ago. I used to listen to Howard Stern a lot. I used to really like Howard Stern, like his early serious days and his last few years on terrestrial radio. And he also had on this guy called, was it Howard Carver? I think he was a Grand Dragon in the KKK, Ku Klux Klan. And I don't know if obviously he was offensive, but I found it more fascinating getting an insight into this way of looking at the world, which is completely foreign to me. Which I always enjoy. I always like looking at things from a point of view which I would never have considered. And it really was like he had this really fascinating and well-defined worldview. The darker the skin of the person, the more evil they were. Except when it got to a Jew who could appear not like a normal white person. So they're the most evil. So the funny thing, you should come to Israel. People think Jews are essentially a European offshoot. Yeah, the reason I believe the UN truly hates Israel is because Israel is the only place in the world where there is a real, true United Nations. You walk down the street here and, basically what happened a couple of thousand years ago, there was a Jewish apocalypse, a Jewpocalypse, shall we say. There was a Jewish empire lived centered in Jerusalem. And I think a lot of Jewish life was, Jewish laws are bound up with living in Israel and having an agricultural society. And it was sort of thought that you couldn't be Jewish if you didn't live in this part of the world, which is where I live in Israel. As I mentioned in many of my videos. But there was, we were invaded by, first Greece, and then we brought the Romans in to help deal with the Greeks, and then the Romans took over, and then they eventually exiled us. But the Jews went everywhere. We went in two basic directions, but we were like a nation without a land, going from host nation to host nation, but basically it's like this. So in the last, since 67 than 48. 67 was the 1967 war, which is where Israel should have been destroyed, but we ended up capturing a whole ton of land in Jerusalem. But ever since then, Jews have been coming back to Israel from all the various places in the diaspora, and so you get a complete completely multicultural ethnic society of all Jews. I remember first time I went to France with my wife. My wife's American from Atlanta and South Carolina. And, and we were on the metro, and she asked this guy, this black guy. I was going to African American, but he was French, African French. I was a black guy at the time, and he's like, "Oh, and he speaks in French, and she couldn't get her head around. Oh my god, there's a black guy who's speaking French. How could that be?" And it's kind of like that here. You have every skin color possible. So if only he knew, if only Mr. Carpet knew how many ranges of skin tones Jews have, will be even more evil for him, But it was really truly fascinating. His wife had this collection of little black people China dolls. It was just again fascinating, absolutely fun. But I'm going to say they are a teeny tiny splinter group. Not to say they can't be dangerous. Look, if I'm driving on through, I don't know, if I'm like in like middle of nowhere in upstate Florida or in Gainesville, wherever, in some redneckish type place. I mean, and I'm going to a gas station. I'm putting on a baseball cap. I'm not walking around with a keeper. I'm not going to make myself look too Jewy. There's only so much I can do because I look pretty Jewy. But there's like, I get it. I could be on the wrong end of a kicking, or if things get bad, I could be on the wrong end of a lynching. But anyway, I digress. I'm going to say they are a completely insignificant force. Most normal people don't even think about race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, skin color, gender. Most normal, it's just not on my radar. It's not how I was raised. I was raised to view people by the content of the character, not their superficial nonsense. So that's normal people, and I think they make up the vast majority of people. So then we have this other segment, which I was against using the term SJW, but I think I just got to adopt it. I think I just got to start using it because they're just now they're losing power. They're getting more crazy. But there's this segment of people, these uber progressive people who believe in identity politics, who are the most racist people in the world. They are the most insanely racist people in the world, and they run virtually all of media, all of the entertainment media, much of the political discourse, much of the news media. Okay, so the reason I'm thinking, and they are obsessed with race, both positively and negatively. I think almost predominantly negatively. So here's how I came to this conclusion. Two things happened recently. First, we had Justin Trudeau, the poster boy for liberal progressives, who came out that he was in blackface, and he's like, "Oh, I was young, I was little, I didn't." He was 20 freaking 9, 29. Actually, people being older than you think. Recently, it was the Jewish New Year, and on the second day of that, we read the from an Old Testament scroll, because it's really kind of cool. If you ever see one, they're really fascinating. But we read the passage when Abraham's going to sacrifice Isaac. And so, in Christian, Christian culture, Christian iconography, it's always like he's got this little baby. He's going to. It's the Isaac was 37 years old. Was it 37 or 47? Isaac was like a grown ass old man. It was like he was clocking on a bit by then. So he was much older than you thought it was. How do I get onto that? Somebody being older? Can't remember. Who cares? But Justin Trudeau. He was 29 when he was in blackface. So I think these progressives who view people by their skin color are obsessed with it, and they are terrified of it, and they are the ground zero of modern racism, and they're able to, and they hide their racism even from themselves, by telling them, "No, we're here to protect." They're white knighting, I think is the phrase. They're here to protect these maligned, poor, oppressed groups. And so the reason, what really, my Adobe Premiere finally booted up. The reason that that pushed me to make this video is that, who was it? Mike Miller had his new book. What's his book called? I haven't read his book. I really wonder. Mike Miller's one of the first Comicsgate people. And again, I haven't read the only Comicsgate book I've read so far is Jawbreaker's Lost Souls, and I got Cyber Frog. It's waiting for me in America, where my wife goes in a couple of weeks. But yeah, so artists, Lone Star is the thing. Lone Star is kind of like a Captain America type thing, and he had it rejected from Kickstarter because for discrimination, subjugation, or intolerance towards marginalized groups. So the marginalized group in this case was a gang member from MS-13, probably one of the worst human beings on the face of the planet. But these insane liberals, they only can see color. That's the only thing they can see. They can't see anything else. So, like when you have like a horde of people invading a border, they coming across illegally. They don't care they're coming across illegally. They just care they're brown people coming across. Oh my God, it's brown people! Oh my God, how can we be so mean to brown people? And I think they are. I think they're genuinely obsessed. I think the people who work at Kickstarter, they're obsessed with race. Yeah, I think was it your boy Zach? What's he called again? Richard C. Mars, Jawbreakers. Well, oh, and also Rambo. Rambo's the new Rambo movie. They both those things are being said are being accused of being racist because they have Latino people or black people being attacked by the heroes. And then all they do is they see their damn color. Who cares what the color? They don't see that the people being attacked are. In Rambo, he was allied with tons of Latino people. They were good people. They were bad people. He showed it like normal human beings. But because the bad people were also Latino, then he said, "Oh, you really hate Latinos." No, regardless of all the positive role models, it's just. That is where racism lives. Where does racism live in 2019? In the hearts of people screaming about race, and they're screaming most loudly. And I don't. What went wrong with these people? That's my question. Where I am. What went wrong with these nut jobs that they care about? Like they care about some of the pigmentation on the skin. I genuinely. I don't understand why. That would make a difference in evaluating how one is treated. I don't understand. I do not understand at all. Obviously, I wouldn't want somebody to be demeaned because of their skin color either. Because skin color shouldn't matter. Again, obviously, your skin color does denote you having some cultural affiliations. People generally have the same cultural affiliations of people from the same culture as them, and people from the same culture as them normally have the same skin color. But that doesn't mean they're like, oh, you're looking down at that one, but not this. No, it doesn't matter. And again, I wish I knew what went wrong with Justin Trudeau. What made him so fascinated and scared and amused by people being a different skin color than it? I don't understand. Wouldn't occur to me to do black. It just really wouldn't occur to me. I mean, there's also Sarah Silverman, who I think when she did blackface, it was to make fun of people being obsessed by race. I think that was more a commentary upon it. But Justin Trudeau was just like, oh my God, these people have a different skin color. That's funny. Now he says, oh my God, these people are a different color. I used to think it's funny. Now I have to protect them. So, and again, the most racist people on the face of the earth, probably, most racist people on the face of the earth are. I shouldn't really go into that, but they're not from the West. It's not from Western culture. Anyway, my name is Sheila Beckin, making a quick video while I was waiting for Adobe Premiere to boot up, and it has booted up. Let me get to work. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and ring the little bell so you're notified of when new videos drop. And who knows when new videos drop? Crazy things happen all the time, which I just have to talk about. Thanks for listening.